And welcome. We're here today. James and I are going to be trying to convince Faust here about playing a video game that James and I have played that he has not. The game in question today is going to be Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth1.
Yep. I've never heard a more Japanese name. Well, actually, I have heard a more Japanese name, but that sounds like something very westernized Japanese. Like I could just see that, just a whole bunch of those wonderful stylized squiggles on top of the thing. So, I'm right. Japanese game.
Japanese game.
Okay.
So, and with the anime series and everything like that too.
Exactly.
But the game itself is what we're going to be talking about, and currently you can either get it on Steam or you can get it on PS Vita.
Okay.
And PS3.
You have my attention. I'm always looking for more PS Vita games.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Rebirth is only on Vita and PC.
Yeah. That's what we're talking about.
Just the Vita and PC.
Yep.
Okay. Is this a relatively new game?
It's been around for about a year or longer.
So 2015 release?
Something like that.
That.
Oh, the original one was 2010.
2014 was the PSP Vita release.
Okay.
The Steam release was 2015, and it's actually part of a series. There's actually a Rebirth 1, 2, and 3.
And you.
So this is like Persona.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, is this Hyperdimension Neptunia? Does it start with Rebirth 1?
No, the Rebirth series, yes, it starts with.
In this
Rebirth.
series, yes.
Okay.
So you can start in on the Rebirth 1 series, having not known anything else about this entire series, because that's where I started.
It's fairly standalone.
Fairly standalone.
Okay. And so the Rebirth you guys are talking about currently
is a remake of the original.
Ah, okay. So it's a remastering?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Remastering and a retelling.
The storyline is not vastly different, but it is different.
Right.
So Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth. The only way that could be a more Japanesey name is if none of the words in that title have anything to do with the game plot whatsoever. So is there hyperdimensions?
No.
All right. Is there a Neptunia in it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Her CDs.
Is she reborn?
No.
She, he, it, whatever that is.
She's not. Technically, yes.
Technically, yes.
Because it's all revolving around a console war. She's ejected from the area, and she technically is reborn.
And loses her memory.
So
the big
I need some backstory.
Okay,
here.
so the big premise behind this is basically this game, while it's a Japanese RPG, it also makes light of the whole Japanese RPG. It makes fun of the whole gaming industry thing.
It's self-aware?
It's self-aware, very self-aware. So it starts basically, you have 4 consoles during the console wars. You have the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Nintendo, and Sega.
They use these names specifically.
No, they don't. But you know what they are.
This is what they're sending out.
Yeah, this is what they're sending out. You can tell they're identified by that, especially because, either because of their stylization, because of buttons, or the way their outfits are, or colors.
So the consoles are people.
Yes. Well, they're
goddesses. This is what they
goddesses
are.
Or
consoles are goddesses.
They're in the
known
computer.
As PCs.
Okay.
Yeah, they're known as PCs. So they're inside a computer world. This is a digital world. And what ends up happening is the main character,
Neptune, which is Nep-Nep.
Neptune.
Nep-Neps are like a nickname that she's given.
And Neptune was the code name for one of the Sega consoles.
It's true. Yes.
Okay.
I believe that was the Dreamcast.
Yep.
Well, neither Dreamcast or Sega CD. Saturn.
Oh, I thought that she was PlayStation.
No.
Because the X and the O.
Nope.
Nep. But her real name is Neptune.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So anyway, she ends up. Somebody does something devious, basically, and causes her to lose her memory. So she has amnesia. So she doesn't even remember that she's a console.
Well,
a console goddess.
It wasn't really they did something devious. They were still in war. So 4 of them were battling each other, and they weren't going anywhere. None of them were going anywhere. So they all teamed
Equally
up against
matched.
her and basically said, we need to get rid of one person to make favor in one of our areas. And so they fought her All of them fought her together as once, and they did a massive attack against her, sent her down to just off the platform. So they're up here in like this heaven area, and the normal citizens are down here. So they launched her off, and they erased her memory.
So do you hear all of this at the start of the game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is like, I'm imagining a humongous plot dump at the start of the game.
Yeah. You start off.
So
in
is this like one of like the Zone of the Enders kind of things where the game starts up and you have to sit through a movie before you can even play?
Not that long though.
Okay.
Not that long.
Yeah, it's not that long.
Yeah,
and
it's not 35 minutes for an introduction. It's like maybe 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just have to watch a half an anime episode.
Yeah, you watch it and you half an anime episode, and they fight and they explain it, and she goes down, and then you go from there.
And okay,
pick up the
so
game.
game starts. Mm-hmm. What's the first thing you see? Where do you start?
You start off in this person named Kampa. She's a nurse.
Okay.
And you start off in her room because she sees you flying across the sky, hitting into a park.
Oh.
And you literally land head first into a park, and she recovers your body. And of course, this game is fan service because like it does. It's Japanese.
Yeah.
And so you get recovered, and it shows her wrapping you up, and she helps her, and she's like, "Well, what's your name?" Neptune. She remembers that.
You remember that?
Her name, and that's it. And then she's like, "I don't remember why I'm here," and then you continue the story from there.
Okay. So in the game, do you control Kampa or Neptune?
You control both.
You control them all. You control them all because again, remember this is a Japanese RPG.
It's an RPG
it's
game.
an RPG. Okay.
So
And it's the original one was turn-based, but then the Rebirth one, it is kind of turn-based, but it's kind of more open, like the new Final Fantasies, where they
active combat,
but it's not. It's kind of a mixture.
Okay.
Because the turn-based one was kind of boring, so the Rebirth actually kind of redid it.
I will admit, turn-based has been getting kind of old. I've done my share of the turn-based gameplay.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to see something where a little bit more skill or strategy is involved. Like if an attack's coming, I'd like to be able to actively dodge it instead of just choosing dodge from a menu.
Exactly.
And I don't want to wear out my X button. So
that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you control them off the bat. It's a active RPG game.
So have you played the PC version?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been playing it for a couple of hours.
How do the controls translate? Is it just like a controller kind of thing, or
you can do the controller, or you can do keyboard and a mouse. I do a controller on that one because I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm doing a controller too.
I like
controllers
the whole
ultimately
keyboard and mouse
recommended.
thing, but the controller makes it so much easier.
It's just written around a controller.
Yeah, it's more written around a controller.
It is, considering it's a PS Vita title that has been
And that makes sense.
Ported.
Basically.
Yeah, because Rebirth originally started on PS Vita.
Neither of you have a PS Vita, do you?
No.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Have you played it on PS Vita?
No.
No?
I thought I bought that one, but it turns out I bought a different Hyperdimension. I bought the Showgirl one, which is basically you're trying to make them into pop stars, and I was all, okay, that's not the right one.
Yeah,
So I bought the wrong
I'm
one.
not really feeling very, if this is just a fan servicey kind of thing.
it's not.
It's not.
So
Does the story actually have an
Yes.
arc, and is there some sort of hero's journey to this? And,
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
there's a hero's journey and it escalates along.
I just said there are
and-
some fan service in it.
Okay.
Yeah, and the game's
It's
actually
Japan.
self-aware of its own fan service too. Okay. That's what makes it funny.
Yeah, I
Oh,
love
no,
that
my
because
towel.
because
No,
one of the girls transforms, the goddesses transforms because you meet with her. She transforms in front of her subjects because she's a goddess. They're subjects. So, and then Nep's like, I don't think, and she's like, because her comment was the third thing, always show off, and then she's like, I don't think getting naked in front of people is really counts as showing off.
Is it the transformation is a send up? So obviously, I have to ask: is it a sort of Sailor Moon kind of transformation?
Yes. It totally is.
That
dude.
thing is so old.
It totally is because like she transformed and it shows her body, and then pieces are clipping on because she starts off in her underwear.
That does
convenient ribbon.
That happens in the anime more so than
Oh,
the
yeah, it
actual
does.
game.
Oh, there's an anime.
The
Yeah,
game.
this is based off an anime, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you're talking about the anime, not the actual game.
No, the game does it too.
Not as bad.
Oh, not as
Would
bad
it-
as the anime though. He's right.
Would it help to be up on the anime to play this
No.
game?
Nah.
No.
So the game is really standalone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has a good story. They have conversations between all the characters. You go along, you recruit more people to your party. I mean, basically, you start off at first with Neptune and Kampa, which is a healer. Then you find a Iffy, or IF, and she's another warrior.
These are sounding very Japanese kind of names.
They are,
They
but they
are,
also
yeah.
have references back to
To computers.
computers or consoles.
That'll be interesting for that. I'm a huge tech nerd anyway. So, so then, what is the bulk? What is the meat and potato? Hold on a sec. What is the meat and potato?
Bless you.
The meat and potato is basically
what is the gameplay?
You go through dungeons, you're fighting monsters, leveling up, and then you go along, you hunt down like other bad people that are trying to get pieces so that they can try to take over and just defeat the goddesses and reign and corrupt the console wars and basically corrupt the whole world. Which is what?
So is it a third dimension overworld kind of thing? Are you wandering down in corridors? Are the dungeons sort of some sort of stylized thing where you have to like figure out what is actually the place you can walk on?
No, they're not stylized. Really, it's the dungeons are
not crawler.
It's not crawler.
Is it a separation between combat and exploration where like you're exploring around and all of a sudden?
Yes, but you actually have to run into the person.
Yeah,
you see the monster.
have to run into the monster.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's a sort of Paper Mario kind of thing.
This is the Rebirth one. You have to actually run into the monster.
Okay, because when I'm running into the monster, can I like attack it first to get an edge in battle?
Yes.
Okay, that's a pretty common thing.
I know another game did that too. I forgot what it was called.
So Costume Quest has done it, and I'm pretty sure they got that. The game that I know that did it the earliest was Paper Mario.
I was thinking of a PlayStation 2 title.
Or maybe, it was Paper Mario, or maybe even Mario RPG, where they kind of gave you the sense where like the enemies were kind of wandering around, but to get into a battle, you had to run up and either bump into them or they bump into you. And if you got an attack off on them, then you got an edge in battle, like a free attack in combat or something.
Did you ever play a game called Dark? Is it Dark something for PlayStation 2? Dark
Stalkers?
No, not Dark Stalkers.
That's PS1. Dark.
He had like a hat on.
If you say,
I can't remember.
Yeah, have you played that game? It starts with dark. You're opening up yourself to a lot of ridicule because
let's anyways, we're going off track here. So like character wise, you have those three characters. They're going along. And you recruit people like Vert. So you recruit like Ram and Rom. Or you at least see them become side characters. Nior.
So is this like a big Chrono Trigger sort of party thing where you can build your party up with the people you like and level them?
Yes. Yeah. And they have costumes and weapons for them and everything. And the ones that are actually goddesses have the ability, you can transform them during battle to do more super damage. It's like ultimates during boss fights and everything like that.
See, a lot of this stuff I'm hearing is pretty derivative of bits and pieces of other RPGs that have come before, which is not necessarily a bad thing depending on how they're implemented.
Right.
If it feels fresh, if it's enough to keep you playing the game. How long are we talking for this game, by the way? Does either of you know? Is there projected kind of like 60 hours or something?
Oh, we're talking it's going to probably be
like 100 hours.
Over 100 hours.
Over 100 hours?
Yeah.
It's an RPG then.
Yeah, it's an RPG. But really, it's like the combat, sure, it feels very similar. There's some tricks with it, at least it feels modern, the combat-wise. What really holds you is the story and self-awareness. Even the dungeons have self-awareness when you're fighting, like, characters from... Pac-Man, yeah.
Really?
It's awesome because the monsters you fight are actually from different various platform games. They have games from... Because they're all consoles.
Yeah.
PlayStation, Sega...
Space Invaders.
Yeah, they have Space Invader characters in there. They have all kinds, and it's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun to play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you have to learn some of the enemies, obviously, to figure out how to take care of them. So, I don't know. Do you have any more questions?
No, none that I can think of really.
Sir, do you have any reservations against playing this?
So yeah, my reservations are. Like RPG, especially if people say the story is really what holds it up, you have to understand, I played Ni no Kuni. That is a game where the story was designed by Studio Ghibli. People who tell stories, and good stories at that. And I couldn't finish Ni no Kuni. So I'm a little reluctant about a game that doesn't have a good balance between combat and story. If it's just riding on the story and the combat is tolerable, I might not enjoy it. That said, I would like to check it out because A, it's on PS Vita, and that platform needs way more support than it's getting. So any game that keeps that thing relevant, it's not even a matter about being popular anymore. It's just keeping it relevant.
Yeah,
is one that I'm probably going to give a serious look at. So with that recommendation, I'm going to probably pick it up for Vita and give it a shot.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really, there's even some story during some of the combat, and they'll stop and they'll have stories like at certain areas as you go through, and the dungeons aren't like
aren't terrible, man.
They don't drag on, and
no.
You go into a dungeon, you go go defeat what the objective is. They send you a mission to go do something. You can just go do it and leave.
So the other problem I would have is if it's a dungeon, and if it's just a dungeon for dungeon's sake, and there's not a sense of progression as the dungeons go on. Like good RPGs, the dungeons have a change in atmosphere or a change in style that
These do.
like where you're at in the story. Bad RPGs are the ones like that one that we played on PS Vita that I can't remember the name of. Where you just had a hub town and then you decided which dungeon you were going to.
Yeah,
then,
I know what you're talking about.
And it really felt like you were just kind of setting up an instance.
No, this is not that bad. That was a bad game.
Yeah, but either way, yeah, I'm convinced. I'll be glad to check it out. At least check out some footage about it and do some more research on it.
Yeah, I mean, the games when they're not on sale are typically about $30 each, but you can usually pick up the pack.
Yep.
During a sale. How much did you buy?
All 3 plus expansions for $20.
$20.
That was on the summer sale.
That was on the summer sale. But PSP Vita, you may be able to find it, cheaper.
Use that like Noble or something.
But I think this game actually retains its value because it's actually one of the solid ones. It's one of the solid ones for the Vita.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yes or no?
Reluctant, yes. I'm usually not very convinced on RPGs, but this one, the way you guys have described it to me, and you've answered my questions to my liking, so I'd say yes, I will check out this game.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is awesome, sir. That's all we want.
Yeah.
Good deal. All right, that's it. If you end up liking this, go ahead and like and subscribe. Have any comments? You want to see us improve this format or anything like this? Let us know. Basically, it's going to be 2 gamers trying to convince somebody that hasn't played the game to go ahead and play the game. See you next time.
Have a good one, folks.